your breasts. Her nipples tightened as his eyes moved from one breast to the other. If her nubs grew any harder, she was sure that she might just poke his eyes out, even though he was still standing on the far side of the room. Zane bit down on his lower lip as his gaze moved to the juncture of her thighs.
Best of all, my little Isnar.
Her panties felt damp, and she found herself squeezing her thighs together to try and quell the growing need that resonated from deep in her core. Yes, she found herself whispering when he paused a little too long. Her big male inhaled deeply through his flared nostrils, and his eyes actually drifted shut for a moment in what looked like pure rapture. When he opened them, they were burning with need. For her. Crikey freaking Moses. How had she gotten so lucky? His mouth curled up ever so slightly at one corner as he exhaled, still sounding like he was in heaven.
I'll tell you, sweetness, the best part of all is your pussy.
Her breath caught in her lungs, and her damp panties got a whole lot damper. This time he made a growly sound of appreciation.
As you grow fuller with child, your folds become more and more swollen and oh so wet. Your scent's enough to drive me insane.
He grit his teeth for a time.
It is all I can do not to think of you, of what I want to do to you. Sweetness, you are a vision.
His eyes were locked with hers. There was no doubting that he spoke the truth.
And carrying my child only makes you that much more lovely.
He grinned.
I should be at a training session right now, but I had to come and see you.
A few strides put him toe-to-toe with her, although belly to rock-hard abs was a better description. Zane put his hands on her hips, or what was left of them, and squeezed lightly. His eyes darted across her face. He looked pained, aroused, and highly frustrated. When his gaze finally settled on her mouth, he flashed his fangs on a silent snarl.
To fucking hell with it,
he whispered, managing to sound menacing. His mouth ground against hers, instantly demanding that she give him everything. Absolute surrender and nothing less. How could she refuse? Moaning, her hands fisted the front of his shirt, dragging him closer. Zane took a hold of her ass in his large hands, squeezing her globes in a move that stimulated her female bits. Her desperate moan was swallowed by his mouth. Another firm squeeze, and he pulled away. His eyes were hard, his jaw tense. Zane lifted her like she weighed nothing, and in 3 strides she was on her back on the bed.
On your hands and knees, sweetness. Do it now,
he growled. Her heart raced and her clit throbbed. As her pregnancy had progressed, she'd only grown more and more horny. She did as he said, moving so that she was on her elbows. This way, her belly came to rest on the bed. It was the only way they could make love at this point. The good news was that during doggy style, her G-spot just so happened to receive a lot of extra love. Tanya was pretty sure that that particular part of her anatomy was also pretty darn swollen. God, she needed him so freaking badly. He palmed her ass with one hand, and she heard the noise of a zipper being lowered. The sound tore through the silent room. It made her heart race faster, and she was panting with anticipation. There was a hard pull and a tearing sound as Zane shredded her underwear. Really, she didn't know why the hell she bothered trying to be civil when she was mated to the vampire kid. The thought died as she felt the head of Zane's cock at her entrance.
So fucking wet for me.
On a low growl, he pushed into her. His hands tightened on her hips as he sank to the hilt. Tanya bit down on her lip to hold back a moan, lest he think she was in pain or that he was being too rough with her. Using deep, easy strokes, he began to move.
You feel fucking perfect,
he growled. It was impossible not to moan at this point. So good, so much so that she wasn't going to last long at all. Her breasts rubbed up against the mattress, her lacy bra braiding her overly sensitive nipples. Zane caged her with his big body, his chest over her back, his hot breath against her skin. Mostly silent, except for the odd little grunt that told her he was enjoying himself just as much as she was. Adjusting his angle, he fucked her even deeper, his granite shaft rubbed up against her sweet spot all the more. Oh, yes. Her clit throbbed, and that heaviness settled down deep in her belly, moving through her limbs. Her muscles began to tighten, and her pussy walls began to flutter.
That's it, sweetness,
Zane grunted, sliding his big hand over her belly for added support. His thrusts were still...